when you're making stuff for people, they have an idea that they want to bring out. And when you're the one to help them bring that out, I would say that's the best part. And that's why I do it the most. My name is Gilberto Velez. I was born in Lawrence, Massachusetts, December 15th, 1986. It's a small city, tough city to grow up in. There's a lot of crime and a lot of drugs. Definitely not a place where you want to be to raise kids. You know, when you grow up in the hood, you know, you just gotta survive, man. You gotta like go through it. Well, my mom, she worked really hard. She worked like 2 jobs. My stepfather worked a lot too. I have 7 brothers growing up. I'm the oldest out of all of them. When I was younger, I didn't really have somebody to look up to. When I started like realizing and getting like older and things like that, you know, I looked up to my stepfather, and he's from Ecuador, and he's amazing, man. Like, taught me a lot of things. So it was good to have him in my life, because without him, who knows? You know, we would have been on the streets, you know, doing stuff like just doing bad stuff, and I didn't want to be like that at all. Dad was great all around. You know, bought me clothes, you know, took care of me like if he was like my real father. So a little bit about my family. I have 3 kids. I'm a beautiful wife. We've been together for 13 years. My oldest daughter, her name is Nayeli. My son's name is Isaiah. And my youngest daughter, her name is Ayla. She's 2 years old. My oldest daughter, she's not mine, but, you know, I take care of her like she's my daughter too. You know, I've had her since she was about 6 years old, and she's 17 now. So, you know, she considers me her dad too. So it's those things that he taught me, you know, rolled right over onto them. Loving, caring, you know, supportive, understanding. So like he would just always have my back no matter what. 2.5 years ago, I moved from Lawrence to Florida. It was one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life, because I was leaving my family and my friends so that my kids could have a better future. We left everything. We had a 20-foot U-Haul truck and just drove down here, and we just started from scratch. We didn't have an apartment like to go right in there, so we stayed with my mom for a couple months. And then after that, I ended up finding a job, and then we got enough money to get into our own apartment, and it was good. When you don't have a degree or your high school diploma, you know, you're basically looking for jobs that are extremely hard, labor intensive, and they require no skill. You want to feel like you're needed, you know, and they can only call you, you know, that's what you really want. When I had my own apartment, that was when 3D printing really took over. The idea came from watching a YouTube short and seeing other people make it and make cool props and things like that, so I wanted to do it too. I never finished high school. I never got my GED. I dropped out sophomore year. So like, a lot of my challenges are just learning about, you know, the engineering, the 3D printing, the 3D modeling, the video editing for my YouTube channel was super, super hard, because I just wasn't like thrown out there. But, you know, I pulled through, and like I know what I wanted. Like I just learned everything off of YouTube, you know, and I had some good friends that I met in Florida that do 3D printing, so I got super lucky. Then I got a sponsor. You know, I just asked 3D Print Orlando if they could sponsor me. They said yeah. Everything was just going up from there. You know, I started meeting amazing people. We were at a event, Maker Faire Orlando, and I was showing my props at a booth there. And one of the representatives at Paladin TechWorks liked my work so much that they ended up hiring me, and I ended up moving to Claremont to work for them. The city's very clean. The schools were amazing. Everybody's very nice. Paladin TechWorks, it's amazing, man. I don't come from a background of engineering or prototyping, so to be right there in the front lines with real engineers that have built some crazy stuff, it's so exciting to be around them, because they know so much, and the information that I learn from them, I implement that into my own little props. So every time I'm there, my personal skills just get better and better. I just went head first, you know, and I gained the knowledge that way by making the mistakes and then learning from them. I've always loved Star Wars. Star Wars was like my favorite thing to go to. Growing up, Star Wars was just the best. I've loved like their spaceships, the weapons that they had, and I always wanted to have that in my hand. Now that I'm old enough to actually make those things, for myself and for other people, is like super satisfying. I have built an entire Mandalorian cosplay suit, Paz Vizsla, the entire suit, the jetpack and the gun. I'd never built a cosplay suit before, so I've ran into every single problem you can imagine. And it took me about 6 months straight to 3D print all of that. So I didn't know like my machine wouldn't do that straight. I would print nonstop, 3D printing that, and I would have a lot of breakdowns. But that was the hardest because when you're building something, yeah, you got the parts, but how do you figure out to attach it to your body? So now you're talking about straps. You need to put like Velcro, leather. Like there's a lot that you can do to make your prop fit you good. And then I got them together and they came out pretty great. In 5 years, I want to move into a bigger place. I want to have my own 3D printing shop so that I can show people what we do and how we do it. My kids mean a lot to me. I'll do anything and everything for them. Everything that I do it so that they have a better future. I sacrifice my time, my energy. I teach them as much as I can so that they're ready and prepared for the world. I've got to teach them a lot about 3D printing and making stuff that they want. So now, whatever they want, they just 3D print it. And I like that because they're just getting better and growing more as a child. I really want to build something for my family so that they can take with them when I'm gone. I started from scratch. It was one of the hardest things ever, but I made it.